Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. We got game two of the Chicago White Sox Baltimore Orioles series. To lead it off for the White Sox, playing second base is Durham, batting second, playing shortstop is Aparicio, batting third, playing right field is Paul Cornico, batting fourth, playing left field is Dye, batting fifth, playing first is Abreu, batting sixth, playing center field is Lemon, batting seventh, playing third base is Robin Venturino, batting eighth, doing the catching is Lore, and on the mountain, batting ninth is Wilbur Wood. And for the Baltimore Orioles, we have leading off, playing second base Davy Johnson, batting second, playing center field is Jones, batting third, playing shortstop is Ripken, batting fourth, playing left field is Robinson, batting fifth, playing first base is Murray, batting sixth, playing right field is Singleton, batting seventh, playing third base is Robinson, batting eighth, doing the catching is Wieters, and on the mound, batting ninth, Mike Cuellar. Let's get down here to the stadium, get this game started. And to lead it off for the White Sox is Ray Durham, batting .217 with no homers and no RBIs. Mike Cuellar making his third appearance. He's 0-2 with a 4.85 ERA. Here's the pitch to Durham. Excuse me. And Mike Cuellar starts this game off with a strikeout, one down. And Aparicio comes to the plate, batting .250 with no homers and one RBI. And that's going to be a base on ball. Luis gets down to first with a walk, a 1-out walk. And up to the plate is Paul Cornico, and Paul's batting .211. He's got a homer and two RBIs. And here's the pitch to him. And that's going to be against the lefty, 15. And that is going to be a base hit and to left field. And let's see. And with one out, is Aparicio going to try to make it down the third? That's the question. On a 6. That'll be a 44. 30. He's going to try to make it down the third here. That'll be a 56 or lower. He's in there, so now we got first and third. With only one out, the Orioles will play back here. Jermaine Dye, who is struggling. He is only batting .095. He has 2 hits and 21 bat appearances. He's got 1 homer and 2 RBIs. And Orioles would love to see a ground ball double play here. And that's going to be a fly ball out the left field. And a 45 and a 2 should be fielding column 2. And it is out the left field. And let's see, that'll be a 50. I would imagine Aparicio is going to score easily here. Yep, he's going to score, and they're not even going to throw the ball in. That's going to be a sacrifice fly out the left field. Makes it Chicago 1. Orioles still to come to the plate. And you got a runner down at first, and 2 outs now for Abreu. And Abreu's batting .368 with 5 homers and 6 RBIs. Can he add to this 1-0 lead? Nope, that's a swing and a miss. Mike strikes out 2 batters, but a sacrifice fly makes it White Sox 1. Orioles coming to the plate. And they got Davy Johnson, Jones, and Ripken due up. And Davy's off to a great start this year. He's batting .375, no homers and no RBIs. This is WILBUR. WILBUR would. His third appearance. He's 0 for 2 with a 4.15 ERA. Here's the pitch to Jones. And that's going to be a base on balls. The Orioles get the leadoff batter aboard here. So the tying run at first, go ahead run at the plate, and Adam Jones. And Adam Jones is off to a good start, batting .333 with 2 homers and 3 RBIs. And here's the pitch to Jones. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Chet Lemon for out number 1. That brings up Cal Ripken now with 1 down, runner still at first. Ripken batting .224 with no homers and 3 RBIs. And he gets a hold of this one, folks. That ball is high. That ball is far. You can kiss it goodbye. Cal Ripken has just hit his first homer of the year to give the Orioles a 2-1 lead. The ball's flying out of Baltimore again today. Watched the first game, that was a wild one, and now it looks like game number 2 is going to be the same way. 3 runs already scored in this first inning. 2 by the Orioles, 1 by the White Sox. Brings up Frank Robinson batting .244 with 5 homers and 10 RBIs. 1 down, nobody on. And that's going to be against the lefty. 25 and a 9. That's going to be a ground ball down to Robin at third. He fires over to first. And now there's 2 down. And Eddie Murray comes to the plate, off to a great start. He's batting .455. He's got a homer and 4 RBIs on the year. And that's going to be a ground ball down out of Aparicio. And that'll end the inning, but the 2-run homer by Cal Ripken makes it a 2-1 ball game as we go to the top of the second. You've got Lemon, Venturino, and Sherman due up. And Chet, he's batting .200 with a homer and 2 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Murray. He calls off Mike for out number 1, takes it himself. And Robin Venturino comes to the plate. Robin batting .143 with 2 homers and 5 RBIs. And that's a ground ball down to Ripken. 2 ground balls, 2 quick outs here in the second. So 2 out, nobody on for Sherman. And Sherman is batting .167, no homers and 2 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out the left. 1-2-3 second. To the bottom of the second we go. Orioles hang on to a 2-1 lead. You got Singleton due up here, followed by Brooks Robinson and Matt Wieters. Kenny is batting .300 with no homers and 3 RBI. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Wilbur strikes him out. It's Wilbur's first strikeout of the game. Brings up Brooks Robinson now. And Brooks batting .186, off to a slow start. Does have a homer and 1 RBI. That's going to be a fly ball out to Lemon. Quickly 2 down here in the second. Looks like both pitchers have settled down after that rocky first. Matt Wieters is up batting .222 with no homers and no RBI. And that's going to be a base hit in the left field. Matt gets aboard here with 2 outs. That'll get Mike Cuellar out of the way at least. Cuellar looking for his first hit of the year. Mike's 0 for 5. And that's going to be against a lefty. That'll be a 23. Runner down at first. A pitcher. 13 and a 1 is going to be a 1, I would imagine. Yes, it is. Single up the middle. And you got first and second. Mike Cuellar says, we don't need no stinking DH. He hits one right up the middle for his first hit of the year. Keeps the inning going now. Now you got a runner in scoring position and 2 outs. And Davey Johnson's up. And Davey, he walked and came around to score in the first. And that's going to be against the lefty, an 18. And that's going to be a nice play down at second by Durham. And that's a line drive right at him. And that'll win the inning. Davey hits it hard, but right at his counterpart, Durham. And the Orioles strand two, still 2-1 as we go to the top of the third. Wilbur started off, and then the order flops over Durham and Aparicio. And Wood is batting 0 for 4, looking for his first hit of the year. Can he do what Cuellar did to him? Nope, Cuellar's got his number. Wilbur's out on strikes. That'll be one down. Ray Durham, he was a strikeout victim his first time up. That's going to be a ground ball down the short. And Ripken's going to boot this one, folks. A rare error by Cal Ripken. And now Durham's aboard here with one out. 4. He's going to try to steal here. That'll be a 51 or lower. He's going to take off and try to get down the second. And he's out of there. Chris Hoyles throws him out. Now there's 2 outs and nobody on for Aparicio. Aparicio walked, came around to score his first time up. As we drop the dice here and make it an official game. And here's the pitch. And that's going to be a ground ball back to Mike, over to Murray, and that'll do it. So the error gets erased by the stolen base. We go to the bottom of the third in a 2-1 ball game. You got the 2, 3, 4 hitters due up here for Baltimore. Jones, Ripken, and Robinson. Adam is 0 for 1, flew out his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Robin at third. 1 down. And here's the man that put the Orioles on top with that 2-run homer back in the first. Here's the pitch to Cal. And that's going to be a 13. And that's an infield hit for Ripken. He hits that ball, tops it down the short. No play over to first. Ripken's on with a single. And that brings up Frank Robinson now. And Ripken down at first. Frank Robinson 0 for 1, grounded out his first time up. And that's going to be a 23. That's going to be a ground ball down the third. And that's going to be the old around the horn. Yep, that's going to be the old 5-4-3 double play. So, again, Brooks hits it down the third. And that's a 5-4-3 double play, and that ends the inning. We get to the top of the fourth, still 2-1 Baltimore. Now you got Paul due up, followed by Dye and Abreu. Paul is 1 for 1, singled his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down to the human vacuum cleaner for out number 1. That brings up Jermaine Dye now. He had a sacrifice fly his first time up. And that's going to be against the lefty, a 13 and a 9. And that's going to be a hit by Dye. Dye gets an infield hit, gets aboard here. And up to the plate now is Abreu. He was a strikeout victim his first time up. Here's the pitch to Abreu. And that's going to be a 37. That's going to be a rare play, a 37 with a runner on first and a 16. 16 and 37. 24. Back to the mound. 14 and a 1. And 14 and a 1. That is going to be fielding column 1, and that's going to be a double play. Nice play by Cuellar. Nice play. That'll be a 1-6-3 double play. Cuellar comes up with that and makes a nice throw down the second over to first, and that ends the inning for the White Sox. Orioles say, whatever you can do, we can do better. That's a inning double play, just what the doctor ordered. And now you got Murray, Singleton, and Robinson due up. Eddie, he is 0 for 1 today, grounded out the third. Grounded out the short. And that's going to be a base hit. Murray goes the other way, hits that in the right field. Paul gets over, cuts it off. Murray will stop at first. Brings up Ken Singleton now. Ken's 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, which strikes him out for the second time today. Now there's one down, and Brooks Robinson's up. Brooks is 0 for 1. He flew out to center his first time up. And with Brooks struggling here a little bit, they're going to do a hit and run, try to get him going here. And that's going to be a 56. It'll be a pitcher. 56 and a 1 should be fielding column 3, I would think. Yep. On a hit and run. And that's a ground ball back to the mound. Wilbur's only play will be over to first. The runner will get in scoring position. And Matt Wieters is up now. And Wieters, he got a single his first up. He's 1 for 1. Can he drive in Murray here with 2 down, nobody on? And that's going to be a rare play. A 38 and a 55. That'll be hit down the short. And Aparicio's down there. And that's going to be a nice play by Aparicio. He fields it, fires over to first, and that'll end the inning. Orioles strand 1. It's still 2-1 Baltimore. So we go to the top of the 5th with Lemon, Venturino, and Lord due up. And Chet is batting 0 for 1 today, batting 195 on the year. And he gets a hold of this one, Lemon does. Where's this one going to end up in Baltimore? And that's going to be high. That ball's going to be far. And that ball is out of here. And Chet Lemon has tied this game up, folks, with his second homer of the year. It's a 2-2 ball game. Robin Venturino's up now. It's 0 for 1 today. Nobody on, nobody out in the tie game. And that's going to be a fly ball out to pretty deep center field. Jones near the track makes the catch. They're starting to get the mic here in this 5th, hitting him hard. Here comes the tank, Sherman. And he's 0 for 1. Flew out the left his first time up. And that's going to be a +2. That'll be a 14. That's going to be a base hit. So the tank's aboard here with an infield hit. So Sherm's down at first. Wilbur's going to try to bunt, go ahead, run in the scoring position. He struck out his first time up. And that's going to be a bunt down the third. Brooks is up with it cleanly. Fires over to first with Murray covering, but the runner does get in the scoring position now. With 2 outs, the go-ahead run down to second. Ray Dorm's 0 for 2. He did reach on an error and got caught stealing this last time up. And that's going to be a 22 and a 45. And that's going to be a line drive. Now, wait a second here. That's going to be a rainmaker pop-up. Matt Wieters out in front of the plate, waits for it to come down, makes the catch. And the White Sox strand one, but they tie this game up at 2 apiece with the homer. We go to the bottom of the fifth in a 2-2 ball game. You got Cuellar, Johnson, and Jones due up here against Wilbur. And Cuellar, he's 1-for-1, says he don't need no stinking DH. And he doesn't, folks. Cuellar gets a hold of this one. Mike Cuellar showing it off at the plate and on the mound, and he hits this one hard in the left field over Jermaine Dye's head. Cuellar is hell of an athlete. He's going to run for a while. Not brown-eyed, handsome man's got himself a lead-off triple, folks. And the go-ahead runs down at third and nobody out. And the White Sox are going to bring the infield in. You got Davy Johnson at the plate. He's 0-for-1. He walked and came around the score back in the first. Here's the pitch to Davy. That's going to be let's see here, a 43 and a 5. 43 and a 5. It's going to be fielding column 1. And they're going to get the runner out at home. Cuellar. Don't know how smart that was. He comes home, and they get him out at home on the 6-2 put out. So now you got Davy Johnson down at first, and 1 out for Adam Jones. Nice play down there by Aparicio. And Davy takes the lead off of first. Jones is 0-for-2. Can he deliver here, folks? And that's going to be a -422. And that is going to be a base hit. So that would have scored the runner. Davies down at second. And you got Jones at first. So the go-ahead run down at second, first and second. And Cal Ripken, who's already homered in this game, folks, he is 2-for-2. He's got a homer, 2 RBIs, and scored. Can he keep this hot streak up? And that's going to be a catcher, a 43 and an 8. 43 and an 8. Single to right, runner out trying to score. Other the third. They're throwing runners out left and right, folks. And that is out the Paul in right field. A single in the right field. And the runner will get down to third. So now there's 2 outs, and it's first and third. They're hitting him, but they're throwing him out at the plate, folks. It's 2 plays at the plate, 2 outs. And still nobody scored, and it's up to Frank Robinson now. First and third and 2 outs. Robinson's 0-for-2. He's grounded out the third twice. Last time was a 5-4-3 double play. Can he do it here with a 2-out hit? Nope. That's going to be 41 and a 7. And that'll be fielding column 2. And that'll be a ground ball down the second. Dorm goes the short way over to second. And the Orioles come up empty. Had some opportunities there. That might be the ball game looking back. It's still tied at 2-2. We go to the top of the 6th. You can see the White Sox has one more game here in Baltimore. Then they leave Baltimore and go up to Toronto to take on the Blue Jays in a 3-game series. And then they leave Toronto and go to Cleveland to take on the Tribe. You got 2, 3, 4 hitters due up here. Luis Aparicio, Paul Konorko, and Jermaine Dye. Luis is 0-for-1. He's walked and came around the score in the first. That's going to be a lazy fly ball out to Frank. He makes the catch for out number 1. And Paul comes to the plate. 1-for-2 today. He's singled back in the first. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Murray. He takes it himself. Quickly 2 outs here in the 6th. And that brings up Jermaine Dye. 2 outs, nobody on. He is 1-for-1 with an RBI. He had a sacrifice fly and singled his last time up. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Mike strikes him out for his 4th strikeout. The side's retired in order. To the bottom of the sixth we go. Still tied up at 2 apiece. You got Murray, Singleton, and Robinson, the Brooks type, due up. Eddie's 1 for 2, singled his last time up. That's a ground ball down to Luis. That'll be thrown over to Abreu for out number 1. Ken Singleton's up now. He's 0 for 2. He has struck out both times against WILBUR. Not this time, folks. He drives that ball hard in the right field. Too hard, probably. Got there quickly. Paul picks it up, keeps Ken at a single. Brings up Brooks Robinson now. He's 0 for 2 today. He has flown out and grounded out. And here's the pitch to Brooks. And that ball is high. That ball is far. And Brooks Robinson has just hit a 2-run homer. Jermaine Dye turns around, watches this leave Camden Yards. And the Orioles take a 4-2 lead here, folks. Now Matt Wieters is up with nobody on and 1 out. He's 1 for 2 today. He singled and grounded out. And that's going to be a rare play. 52 and a 36. That's a foul ball. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Wieters. And that's going to be a base on balls. Matt forces a walk. Nice piece of hitting by Matt Wieters. And Mike Cuellar is up. He is 2 for 2 today, folks. But they are going to ask him to bunt him over to second. And that's going to get the job done. Nope, he fouls it off. So here's the 0-2 pitch to Mike. And that'll be ball bunted down the third. Venturino's only play is going to be over to first with Abreu covering. That'll get the runner down the second with 2 outs. And it's up to Davey Johnson to try to add to this 4-2 lead. The Orioles have already scored 2 runs on the 2-run homer by Brooks Robinson. Davey's 0 for 2. He did walk and come around the score back in the first. And that's going to be against the lefty in 18. And that's going to be a ground ball. Nope, that's a shallow fly ball in the center field. Lemon comes running in, makes the catch, and that's the inning. But the 2-run shot by Brooksy makes it a 4-2 Orioles lead as we go to the top of the 7th. You got Abreu, Lemon, and Venturino due up here against Mike. And Jose's 0 for 2. He struck out and grounded into a 1-6-3 double play his last time up. And that's going to be a base on balls. Don't like that. Walking the runner here. Now the tying run comes to the plate. Chet Lemon, he's already homered in this game. He homered his last time up. He's 1 for 2. And that's going to be a 26, a 63, and an 8. That'll be fielding count. And that'll get the runner over to second. Only play for Davies the first. So now you got a runner down at second. Robin Venturino's up with 1 out. Robin's 0 for 2. Can Mike pitch around this? Keep this a 2-run ball game. And that's a big strike out there. Mike Cuellar made Robin Venturino look like the house that stood beside the road. Looked at that curveball. Couldn't do a thing about it. Just stared at it. Now there's 2 down, and it's up to Sherman. Lohr, he's 1 for 2. He singled his last time up. Here's the pitch to Sherm, and that's going to be a ground ball down the short. He fires over to first, and that'll end the inning. Cuellar gets around the runner at second, keeps it a 4-2 game as we make it to the 7th inning stretch. Wilbur's due to lead off the top of the 8th. See if he can make it through this 7th inning. He's got the 2, 3, 4 hitters due up. Jones, Ripken, and Robinson, the Frank type. Adams is 1 for 3, singled his last time up. And that's a swing and a miss. Wilbur strikes him out. It's only Wilbur's third strikeout of the game. And here comes the man, Cal Ripken. He is a perfect 3 for 3 today, folks. A homer and 2 RBIs. And he scored. Here's the pitch. Can he go 4 for 4? He does, and that ball is out of here. He crushed that one, folks. That ball was no doubt. Kiss it goodbye. Cal Ripken's having one hell of a game. 4 for 4, 2 homers, and 3 RBIs. It makes it a 3-run lead, 5-2. And Frank Robinson comes up. He's 0 for 3 today. 1 out, nobody on. And he gets a hold of this. That's back-to-back jacks. Frank Robinson with his 6th homer of the year. And Wilbur struggling here in the 7th. Get the bullpen up in a hurry here. And Eddie Murray's up. He's 1 for 3. Still only 1 out. Now it's a 6-2 ball game. The pitch to Murray. And that's going to be a grounder down to Aparicio. He fields it cleanly, fires over to Abreu, and there's 2 down. Now you got Ken Singleton at the plate. 1 for 2, singled his last time up and came around the score back in the 6th. And he nails this one, drives it again in the right field. Nice job by Singleton. He's aboard for the 2nd time today. And Brooks Robinson, the last time up, he hit a 2-run homer. He's 1 for 3. And not this time. That'll be a ground ball down the first. And Abreu will take it himself, step on the bag. Excuse me, and that'll end the inning. But 2-run score makes it a 6-2 game. As we go to the top of the 8th, we'll have a pitch hitter here for Wilbur, followed by Dorham, and then Aparicio. Let's see here. Who's going to come off the bench? They got a few righties here, that's for sure. Let's see here. And they're going to have Anderson lead it off here. Mr. Anderson's going to come off the bench. And Anderson's batting .231, no homers and no RBIs. Here's the pitch from Mike. And that's going to be a base hit. Tim goes the other way with it, drives that ball in the right field. Singleton's up with it, keeps him to a single. So the leadoff batter's aboard here. And Ray Dorham comes up. And that'll get the bullpen ready. They'll be getting ready now. Dorham's 0 for 3. He did reach on an error and get thrown out trying to steal. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. They'll get the lead runner out. That'll be a 6-4 put out, but Dorham beats the relay throw. He's down at first now with 1 out. Aparicio's up. He's 0 for 2 today. He did walk, came around the score back in the first. And that's going to be a pitcher, 24-1. 24-1's fielding column 2. That's going to be a rare play on a 39, on a 39, a 16 on a 39. That's going to be hit down the short. Ripken's down there. And a 63 on a 10. Not his best moment, that's for sure. That'll be fielding column 2. And that's going to be a single through the hole. And Durham will stop at second. So now you got first and second. And runner in scoring position here. Only one out. Orioles would love to see a ground ball double play here with first and second. Paul's up. He's 1 for 3. He has grounded out twice his last 2 at bats. Can Cuellar get the ground ball this time? Here's the pitch to Paul. And that's going to be a 2 balls and no strike count on him. He falls behind on him 2-0. Paul take advantage of it. Nope. That's just what the doctor ordered, folks. That'll be a feeling. And that's going to be the old 6-4-3 double play. The Orioles get out of the inning. Nobody scores. Keeps it a 4-run ball game. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 6-2 Baltimore. And Mr. Jones, Nate Jones, is going to come out of the bullpen pitch here for the White Sox. Trying to keep this a 4-run game. Can't afford to give up any more. It's already an uphill battle. So this is Jones' 4th appearance. No record, no ERA. He's got Weeders. And I don't know. Mike might be coming out of the game here. Pitch hitter for Mike and then Davey Johnson here. And Matt's 1 for 2. He walked his last time up. And that's going to be a fly ball out to die for out number 1. Like I say, that's going to be it for Mike. He goes 8 innings after what happened to Palmer the day before. They're not going to bring Mike out. So here comes. Got some lefties on the bench here. Let's see. Probably definitely bring somebody in to play right field for Singleton. So Brian Roberts is going to come out and pitch hit. Let's see who's going to pitch hit, and he might stay in the game and play second for defensive purposes. So Brian's going to come off the bench here with 1 out and nobody on. And Brian is batting .231 on the year, 1 homer and 2 RBIs. Here's the pitch from Nate. And that's going to be against the righty, a 15 and a 9. And that's going to be a base hit. Brian Roberts with a single here. Get a 1-out hit. Get a runner aboard. So Brian's aboard here. Now Davey Johnson's up. And Davey's 0 for 3. With Brian's speed, they're going to do a hit and run here with Davey. And that's going to be a 5 catcher. So that'll be a 42 and an 8. 42 and an 8 is fielding column 1. And the runner's going to get thrown out trying to steal as Davey can't make contact. Now there's 2 outs, nobody on. That's a swing. 0-1 pitch after the runner gets thrown out. Davey's 0 for 3. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Jones strikes him out. And that'll end the inning. We go to the top of the 9th. It's 6-2 Baltimore. Davey's going to come out of the game. Davey comes out. Let's see who's going to come in here to pitch. You got the righties, righties, and righties. And it's Eddie Watt is going to come in to pitch. Eddie Watt will come in to pitch. Let's see here. Brian's going to stay in the game and play second. Eddie's going to come in the game. And Matt and Davey spot in the 1 spot. And then I think Nick Markakis is going to come in and play right field for Ken Singleton. Okay, so Nick Markakis will come in, play right field. Alrighty, I don't think they're going to make any other defensive substitutions. And that's going to be it. That's what they'll do here. So we'll have a new second baseman, a new right fielder, and a new pitcher. Eddie Watt, his 3rd appearance of the year. He's got no record with a 9 ERA. You got Brian Roberts playing second now, and Nick Markakis out in right field. And you got Abreu and Lemon due up against the righty. Let's see here. Jermaine Dye is going to bat for himself. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI, sacrifice fly single. He did strike out his last time up. And that's going to be a hit down the 3rd, not where you want to. Not with Brooks Robinson down there for out number 1. Frank Thomas is going to come off the bench here and bat for Abreu. With the righty in the game. And Frank is batting .250 with 2 homers and 6 RBIs on the year. And he gets a hold of this, folks. Drives that ball into the gap. That's going to be a 2-out double by Frank Robinson. The White Sox ain't done yet. That's what they did in the last game. Tried to make this 9th inning interesting. A runner down at second and 1 out, trailing by 4. Going to need a few more of these. Chet Lemon's up. He's 1 for 3. He homered in this game. And he's done it. Nope, maybe not. It might be a double. Let's check this out. And that ball is hit hard. That's a double in the left field. So Chet Lemon with back-to-back doubles has made it a 6-3 ball game. These White Sox are tough to get out here in the 9th. Now you got Robin Venturino up with a runner on second. Now it's only a 3-run game. And Robin, are they going to let him bat? I think they are. He is 0 for 3. He is grounded out, flown out, and struck out. And that is against the righty. It's going to be a 22. That's going to be a ground ball. Nope, that's going to be popped up down to Brooks Robinson at 3rd. And that's going to be out number 2. And let's see here. Are we going to pitch it for Sherm? Harold Baines is going to come out of the dugout and pitch hit for Sherm here. So, point out all the stops here. So Harold Baines comes out. See if he can keep this game alive. White Sox down to their last out as Ken Castro joins us here. And a 6-3 ball game. 2 outs, a runner down in second. Already 1 run come across the board here in the ninth. What happened here? I want Harold Baines to come in the game. What the world's going on here? What the heck? We'll do an undo here. Something's crazy. Do an undo. Venturino popped up the third. Made 2 outs. And now we want to pitch hit for Sherm here with Harold Baines. There we go. Baines hitting 286 on the year, 2 homers, 4 RBIs, and a 6-3 game. 2 down. Here's the pitch from Watt. And a 20. And that's going to end this ball game. That's a ground ball down the short. Ripken's got it, takes his time, fires over to Murray, and that's your ball game, folks. The Orioles take this game 6-3. Take a look here at the box score. And the Orioles score 6 runs on 14 hits and 1 error. The White Sox 3 runs, 8 hits, and no errors this game. Chet Lemon was the only White Sox with 2 hits. He went 2 for 4. The White Sox, again, only 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position. Chet Lemon with a homer. They only left 5 men on base. Cuellar pitched a hell of a game. And how about Cal Ripken Jr.? 4 for 4. 3 RBIs, 2 homers in the game. Frank Robinson and Brooks Robinson, the Robinson boys, got in on the home run action. Orioles were 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position. They left 7 men on base. WILBUR drops to 0-3. 7 innings, 13 hits, 6 runs, walked 2, struck out 3, and gave up 4 homers. Jones comes in, pitches 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 strikeout. Cuellar picks up his first win of the year. He's now 1-2. 8 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, struck out 5, and gave up the homer. Watt comes in, goes 1 inning, 2 hits, 1 run, and that's a ball game. Oh, thank you, buddy. Yeah, it was a good pitch matchup on paper. You're exactly right. Yeah, the ball was flying out of there early. Take a look here at the leaderboard and standings here in the American League. You got the Yankees are now only 4.5 games up on Baltimore after the win. Toronto and Boston 6 games back, and the Devil Rays 8 games back. Kansas City's leading the Twins, Indians, and Tigers by a game and a half, and the White Sox with the loss drops to 4 games back. And out west, the Rangers are 3 games up on the Angels. Mariners and Athletics are 4.5 games back. Mickey Rivers leading the American League with a .368 average. And now you got Frank Robinson tied with Ramirez with 6 homers on the year. And Roger Maris with his 13 RBIs. And you got Zach Greinke with a 0.75 ERA leading the American League. Four pitchers tied with 3 wins, and John Wetland with his 6 saves on the year leading the American League. Kenny Lofton still leading in the MVP voting, and Tim Wakefield in the Cy Young. And the next game on the channel will be the third and final game of this series. Can the Orioles sweep the White Sox out of town, or will the White Sox finally get a win here? See what the pitching matchup looks like. It's going to be Lamar Hoyt going up against Mike Messina. So again, another good matchup. Let's see if the pitchers can show up for this game. I want to thank Ken Castro for stopping by here. And if you haven't already done so, hit that subscribe button, folks, and that like button and bell. Helps the channel out and it doesn't cost you anything. Till next time, you all have a great day and take care.